shall we move on to watch this, boys?
Sure.
Have you watched the most recent episode of Only Murders in the Building?
No, I assume it came out on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably usually
or Wednesday. I don't know. One of those.
I did not watch it yet.
Oh, yeah, Tuesday. It must be Tuesday. Or maybe Wednesday. Anyway, there's major Long Island town shout outs in this episode. They go to Long Island and they shout out some towns.
Like, give me a town.
I don't want to spoil it for you. Just watch it.
Is it the Massapequas?
It might be.
Nice. Oh, I wonder which Massapequa they go to.
You'll have to tune in to find out. It's such a good show. By the way, this is one of Only Murders in the Building. One of my favorite shows of the year. Easily like top 2 or 3.
I agree. I really like it a lot. I'm glad you saw it was renewed for a second season.
Yeah.
So
it's really good. Ship, you have Hulu. Why won't you watch this?
I just haven't watched it yet.
Well, get on it.
Once they visit Hop Hog, I'll get on it.
Wow, that's very well said for someone who's not from Long Island. Congratulations. No, it's so good. Like, it's just, God, meanwhile, I wound up watching Mars Attacks on Netflix.
Okay.
Do you know who's in Mars Attacks?
Oh my God. You know what the funniest thing is?
What?
The movie Mars Attacks, or do they have a new thing?
I watched the movie Mars Attacks on Netflix over the weekend too.
They must know who we are and just say, hey, let's throw this in the algorithm.
But that's a little weird. I mean, I guess.
I watched half of it. But Martin Short is in that movie.
And Martin Short is in it, and he looks so young, and he has like reddish hair.
Like a baby. He looks like a little baby.
He does. He looks like a baby in that movie. I said the same thing to my wife when we were watching it. I'm like, look how young Martin Short looks. And then she said, this movie's stupid, and she left the room.
It is. I remember watching it in the theater.
Stupid. No. Is that what you said back to her?
It's exactly what I said.
I remember seeing that movie in the theater and not being able to figure out if this movie was stupid or not, which I guess made it like interesting, and that's what makes it.
It's really.
I love that movie.
It's a weird movie. I was watching it. It was like I watched it in like 3 parts because it was like something to put on in between whatever that was going on. And anytime someone walked in the room, it'd always be at a part where it's like, wait, why is that woman's head on a dog? It didn't matter what. Like, wait, why is everyone turning into skeletons now? I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty weird movie.
yeah. But anyway, it just made me. I was very surprised to see him in that. I did not remember him being in that.
I don't think I had seen that movie in a good 20 years either.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody was in Mars Attacks, right?
Yes. The cast in that movie is crazy. The fact that Jack Nicholson plays 2 roles in it for no reason, and Danny DeVito is in it for about 15 seconds. Hey, anyone playing craps in here? And then that's it.
I've been watching, I mentioned it last week. I think we just watched the first episode, but we've been watching The Naked Director on Netflix. That's the movie about the Japanese porn industry in the 80s. That movie has a lot of sex in it. Even for a movie about the porn industry, sometimes I'm thinking, this sex scene can't still be going on, like, or am I in like a time loop or something? Because this is like, there's been like 20 minutes worth of sex in this episode so far. It's, regardless of the sex content, it's a really well done movie. I don't like a lot of Japanese like movies that aren't animated. I got to be honest. Like, a lot of them have like a really low budget look to it. But this movie had like a really big budget. Like, and part of the deal they made with Netflix was like they had to spend a lot of money basically and not make it look like shit. It's really well done. It's really just, and the story, it's based on a true story, and this fucking story is insane, off the wall. I don't want to ruin any of the plot points for you, but it's a lot of sex. It is all in Japanese, so you're reading subtitles the whole time. But it's just like one of the top Netflix series, I feel. Naked Director, Wombat. You should watch it. Don't you want, you know? Wouldn't watch a show that's in Japanese with subtitles? Is that it?
That's the problem.
Not enough porn?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Not enough sex in it?
Yeah, I don't need it. No, it's not going to work.
Right. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's what we've been watching. Every night we watch a new episode of that, but it's only 2 seasons.
I watched Happier Than Ever on Disney Plus.
What's that?
That's the Billie Eilish
how was that?
Full concert experience type of thing. I think it's a love letter to Los Angeles, I believe is the subtitle. I enjoy her music. I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into this because it's got like the cartoon scenes and everything is what they like. It's being pushed fairly hard on Disney Plus. If you boot it up, I'm sure you've both seen it.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is sprinkled in, but the majority of it is her playing the album front to back in an empty Hollywood Bowl.
Is that good or bad?
It's good in that like there's like a symphony that's playing and everything too, or orchestra, whatever it is, probably the LA Symphony or something. And it's nice to listen to. It's not a whole lot to look at, I wouldn't say. Right. Like this album's a lot more mellow than her previous albums. Like she if you watched, did you watch the Billie Eilish show that was on the other service?
The Apple one?
Yeah,
No.
the Apple
No,
one.
I did not watch the Apple one.
Okay. The Apple one, that's a documentary.
I would say that's more of a straight ahead documentary.
That's a straight ahead documentary, but it has a lot of performances in there, and they're like really active performances where she's jumping around and getting the crowd into it. And this one has no crowd, so it's really like her and her brother and the symphony playing the songs. I would say that the spoken word track is not very interesting still on this album when you watch it as well.
There's a
It's a little
spoken word track.
That's a little self-indulgent.
Yeah, the spoken word track it's a skip for me when I get to it on the album.
Right.
But it's good. It's just not, I don't know. It looks a little splashier in the ads, I would say. I was expecting more of an experience.
I would recommend looking up the Billie Eilish performance on Howard Stern from a couple years ago. It's just her and her brother in the studio, and they do like a few songs. It's really good. And it's on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Have you guys been watching What If on Disney Plus?
I didn't watch, is it yesterday's episode, today's episode? I don't even know.
You saw the zombies one?
But I saw the zombies one, yes.
My family and I all agreed that the zombies one was pretty lame. It was just like kind of like phoned in. Like you didn't like. Do you like the zombies one? You like the zombies one a lot? I'm getting a lot of pushback here.
No, I have issues with the series as a whole.
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest.
Oh, okay.
The Marvel Zombies series or the
No, the whole What If series, and it's like me being too nerdy. I'm gonna say I think I'm a little too hung up on the fact that it's a What If series, but I don't. Other than the first episode, none of them have really had like a what if twist. It's really more of a, and this thing happened. It's not like in the first episode.
The latest one does. I feel like we watched the latest one. It's sort of, it kind of does. Like there's no, I know what you're saying. There's not much repercussions from the what if.
It's
just
not
like
even
the zombies one. It was like, what if there were zombies? Well, they're gonna fuck
What
with
if
people's
there was
brains.
a long running comic book about Marvel zombies?
And we just made that into a cartoon.
Right.
Whereas like the first episode, it's what if Peggy Carter stayed. It's really what if Peggy Carter stayed downstairs during the experiment instead of going upstairs. Like she's given a choice. She's asked the question, hey, don't you think you'd be better off sitting upstairs? And she says no. And everything goes different. And there's a butterfly effect from this one small choice she made. She makes one small change in the canon that we're used to. And there's huge repercussions from this one small choice. Every other episode has been like, Yondu's spaceship picked up the wrong guy. I'm like, that's not a small thing that creates a huge butterfly effect.
Right.
That's a big thing that just becomes a big thing. It's a lot more interesting when it's a small thing. Like, what if they went to pick up Peter Quill and you know he ran away and they didn't pick him up? What would happen, or something along those lines? It just is. It's not a coherent, like it doesn't fit in with what they were going with. At least not in the first episode, and not with what if comic books were more like. Does that make sense?
No, but it's okay. No,
it makes sense to me.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I think you might like
Marvel
the most
zombies one. I haven't seen any of them yet.
Oh, okay.
I've just seen like I know the premise of each one.
Yeah, Mookie Juki in the chat thread actually says it really well. He goes, "It's not classic '70s What If, which changes a choice. It's more like DC Elseworlds, like Batman Red Sun. This is T'Challa Star Lord. It's more Elseworlds than it is What If." And that's not necessarily that's a bad thing. It's just it shouldn't be a what if series. And I know it's silly and small, but it bothers me and it takes me out of every single episode of the goddamn show.
I'm not sure if you're going to like the latest one or not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.